everyone, and welcome back to Tokyo Tuesdays, the segment in which I head to the Tokyo Disney theme parks to sample and review every last eatery. For our 35th episode, we're going to be docking at Liberty Landing Diner. Located in Tokyo Disney Sea, to get to the Liberty Landing Diner, head first into the Mediterranean harbor. Turn left and pass by Gondolier Snacks on your left. Head up the ramp over into the American waterfront. You're going to want to continue heading straight, keeping McDuck's department store on your left and the Disney Sea Electric Railway tracks on your right. Continue on in this way until the railway tracks curve to the left, at which point pass underneath them to continue going straight. You'll pass by Restaurant Sakura on your right, and then almost immediately after, you'll come across Liberty Landing Diner, also on your right. While not officially part of the Cape Cod part of the American waterfront, Liberty Landing Diner manages to exude some of that small-town fishing charm while not feeling out of place in the hustle and bustle of the more New York-y part of the park. Everything has a weathered feel to it, without feeling dirty or decrepit, and the entire diner is covered in quaint ye olde repair signs.
Alright, so I just went to what I believe is the River Delta Diner, and I got the pork rice bun, which I've been letting cool a little bit while I get set up, but it kind of looks like something wrapped in bacon, which I wasn't expecting. I have every confidence that I'm going to make a huge mess trying to eat this. It's hot, and it also seems a little bit greasy. So we'll see how this plays out. Not well, is what I'm predicting. Yeah. Especially because I only have the one hand. So it's a little wiggly, if you can see that. Not exactly what I was expecting, but alright, let's... So yeah, it's like a breadstick that hasn't been all the way cooked through, with a little bit of pork on the outside. Yep. The inside, if you can see, if my camera will focus, is mostly just what I'm assuming is rice. The texture and taste reminds me a lot of a breadstick, like the Pillsbury Doughboy ones that you get out of a tube, but I'm pretty sure it's actually rice. I'm playing a fun game this evening of where can I record footage where it's bright enough to actually show up. We'll see what shows. We'll see what turns out. So the pork that's wrapping around it, not all of it is cooked all the way through. Like, it's all cooked. It's all cooked, definitely. But I prefer my pork be more cooked than not. So when you still have like parts of the meat that is white or mostly fat, that's kind of a turn-off for me. And that is the River Delta Diner, I think. I will double-check that name. And I will see you wherever the next place is.
Back to Japan! How'd it rate? Service. Service is a 3 out of 5. The woman who took my order was very kind. I was waiting at one window to place my order when she called me over to the second window, letting me know that I could also order over there. She also warned me about my food and how hot it was going to be. And indeed, it definitely was hot. I burned my fingers more than once while looking for a place to film that actually had some light. Still, she did warn me. So, 3 out of 5. Atmosphere. Atmosphere is a 4 out of 5. Not only is the exterior of this location done up to the nines in its theme, but the interior is as well. The last few places I've visited have had sort of boring, nondescript kitchens, sometimes in stark contrast to the exterior of the location, but not here. Here, this place is absolutely themed, inside and out. 4 out of 5. Price point. Price is a 3 out of 5. At 500 yen, this food is perhaps a little more expensive than some of the other snack foods in the park, but it's also actually meat, which I feel accounts for the price discrepancy. It's a very filling food as well, so it can last you a little while. 3 out of 5. The food itself. The food is a 1 out of 5. This was a really weird food for me. When I read pork and rice roll on the menu, this was not what I was expecting. Still, it was delicious. Until I got to the surprise raw meat, which I have to emphasize, I know that the meat wasn't raw. I know it was cooked. It's just that I prefer my meat, and especially my bacon, to be very well done and crisp, while it seems in Japan there's frequently a tendency for the meat to be less done and less crisp. So going from super well done, awesome, delicious bacon at the end of the pork and rice roll to the middle section where it was surprise floppy bacon was really, really super unpleasant for me. Like, I can deal with raw foods, but not as a surprise. 1 out of 5. Overall rating. Overall, this gives the Liberty Landing Diner an average rating of 2.75 out of 5, which seems perhaps a little bit low. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt on their food, and, you know, some people actually prefer softer bacon. So we'll round it up to a 2.8. The lineup. With a 2.8 out of 5, this ties Liberty Landing Diner with Toon Tone Treats on the master list. I'm going to slot it in just above in 22nd place. While I did not enjoy my pork rice roll, I feel like I could actually give it a second chance, and would like to give it a second chance. Additionally, there are other foods on their menu that I haven't tried, so I could go back and try something completely new, versus Toon Tone Treats, where I've basically already had everything on their menu. So, yeah, it goes in above. Meanwhile, on the counter service location, it's going in at 14th place, just above the Light Bite Satellite. So, that's it for this week. Come back next week if you want to find out where I'll be then. Hint! Next week is the 4th of July, and I will be sticking to the America theme for that. If you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to leave those down below. We'd love to hear from you. Give this video a big old thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you like what we do. We'd surely appreciate it. If social media is more your flavor, you can find us there. Links to that in the description box. And I will see you next week for another Tokyo Tuesday.